Welcome to today's exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of United States coins and uncover the incredible story behind the 1987 D. Roosevelt one dime that has stunned collectors and enthusiasts across the globe because while its face value is just 10 cents, some rare pieces of this coin have skyrocketed in worth, with certain error and unique mint mark examples valued at an astonishing $65 million, and that difference between a simple dime in your pocket and one that could change your life forever makes this an unforgettable topic worth exploring in great detail as we journey through its history, production, and the circumstances that created its extraordinary value, because when the Denver Mint struck these dimes in 1987, no one imagined that a small mistake in the minting process could later result in coins that command prices higher than luxury homes, classic cars, or even fine art, yet history shows us time and again that error coins can turn ordinary pocket change into treasures beyond imagination, and the 1987 D dime is no exception, because collectors are constantly on the lookout for these anomalies such as double dies where the design is imprinted twice giving the coin a doubled image effect, off-center strikes where the design shifts away from its intended placement, die cracks that create raised lines across the surface, or even planchet errors where the coin is struck on the wrong type of metal, and each of these rare mishaps can instantly transform a 10-cent coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, while the most famous category for the 1987 D dime is its mint mark-related mistakes where the small d representing Denver was either misplaced, faint, doubled, or in some unique cases completely missing, making such coins highly desirable since mint marks play a crucial role in identifying where the coin was produced and errors in them instantly add rarity, and rarity is the key factor driving astronomical values in the coin market, and as collectors compete to own the rarest examples, prices can soar from a few $100s into millions, and this is how the tale of the 1987 D dime worth $65 million captures attention as not just a coin but as a symbol of how mistakes can create beauty, mystery, and immense worth, reminding us that value is not always determined by the official number stamped on an object but by its story, uniqueness, and demand among those who treasure it, and the story continues when we look at the broader context of the Roosevelt Dime series which began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt who was beloved for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II and for his commitment to fighting polio. And since then billions of Roosevelt dimes have been minted making them common in circulation but at the same time providing a massive field of opportunities for errors and rare finds because when you produce coins on such a large scale even the smallest mechanical or human mistake can slip through the cracks, and these slips become the hidden gems of numismatics, so for collectors the thrill of searching rolls of coins, checking change from stores, or buying old collections is fueled by the possibility of uncovering something like the legendary 1987 D dime with a unique error. And while most 1987 dimes in circulation are still only worth their face value of 10 cents, the few that display dramatic mistakes or mint mark errors are the ones commanding attention from collectors, auction houses, and investors. And this explains why stories circulate about a single coin being valued at $65 million because rarity combined with collector frenzy can drive prices beyond what most people could ever imagine, and when examining such coins experts look closely under magnification to detect doubling in the date, the letters Liberty, or the motto In God We Trust, they check the alignment of the design to see if it is off-center, they test the coin's weight to ensure it was struck on the correct planchet, and they carefully inspect the mint mark to determine if it has been repunched or misplaced, and when all of these features combine in just the right way, you have a specimen so rare that wealthy collectors are willing to pay life-changing sums to add it to their collections, and this phenomenon is not just about owning a coin but about owning a piece of history, a one-of-a-kind artifact that connects the past with the present, reminding us of the imperfections in human craftsmanship and the beauty that can arise from them, and it also emphasizes why anyone who handles coins should keep an eye out because treasures can appear in the most ordinary of places, maybe in your change after buying groceries or tucked away in an old jar of coins sitting in a drawer. And the dream of discovering a 1987 D dime with a mint mark error worth millions continues to inspire collectors worldwide, making this story not only about money, but also about passion, curiosity, and the never-ending hunt for hidden value in everyday objects. So next time you look at a simple dime remember that beneath its small size and modest appearance could lie the potential for an extraordinary fortune, and the 1987 D dime with its $65 million story stands as a shining reminder that in the world of numismatics, miracles are always possible if you know where and how to look. To today's video, where we uncover one of the most fascinating and surprising stories in the world of United States coins, a story that takes us deep into the mystery of how a simple small coin you may carry in your pocket, the 2015 D Roosevelt dime, could hold a value that goes far beyond its ordinary face value of just 10 cents, with certain rare and extraordinary pieces linked to errors, mint mark mistakes, and special conditions being valued at a staggering $70 million, a figure that sounds unbelievable at first but becomes intriguing once we begin to explore the history, the possibilities, and the reasons collectors place such astronomical values on rare error coins. So let us dive into the background of the 2015 D dime and the unusual journey that turned an everyday coin into a potential treasure worth life-changing money for the lucky finder. The Roosevelt dime has been part of American coinage since 1946, designed to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing, and it has remained a mainstay of pocket change with few design changes over the decades. But what makes the 2015 D issue particularly interesting is not its design but the fact that mistakes and rare minting errors may have occurred at the Denver Mint during its production, creating varieties that differ from the standard strikes and catching the eyes of collectors who know that rarity and uniqueness drive value in the numismatic market. When we talk about coins being worth millions, it is never about the regular strike that you find in your everyday transactions, but about errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchet strikes, or misplaced and unusual mint marks, all of which can elevate the coin's status from common to one of a kind. And in the case of the 2015 D dime, there are stories and reports of strange anomalies such as misplaced D mint marks that appear in unusual positions, weakly struck details that give the coin an odd appearance, and potential die clashes or die cracks that create fascinating patterns across the coin's surface, each of these mistakes turning a regular dime into a collectible rarity. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins where something went wrong at the mint, because such coins cannot be reproduced intentionally. They are accidents of history, frozen in metal, and their scarcity makes them desirable in auctions where wealthy collectors compete to own the most unusual and historically significant pieces. Which is why some versions of the 2015 D dime connected to major minting errors have been valued at mind-blowing amounts, with the legendary $70 million figure being tied to a combination of rarity, uniqueness, and the demand for owning a coin that stands apart from all others. Imagine holding a coin that at first glance is just worth 10 cents, but because of a tiny misplaced letter or a striking mistake, it becomes a treasure equal to a fortune. And that is exactly why collectors and treasure hunters carefully inspect their change, hoping to discover one of these exceptional pieces, because one lucky find could completely change a person's financial future. The 2015 D dime serves as a reminder that while billions of coins are struck each year, the minting process is not perfect, and it is in those rare imperfections that extraordinary value is born, whether it be a doubled Roosevelt profile, an off-center strike leaving blank spaces on the coin, or a mint mark error that puts the D in an odd place. Each of these scenarios creates a variation unlike the mass-produced common coins. The reason such coins can reach tens of millions in value is because the numismatic market thrives on rarity and the willingness of wealthy collectors to pay any price for the pride of owning something no one else in the world can possess, and this desire creates bidding wars in high-profile auctions that drive values to record-breaking heights, making a dime worth $70 million not just a fantasy but a reality for coins with the right combination of error and rarity. For everyday people who come across change in their pockets or jars, this is a thrilling thought, because it means that hidden among ordinary dimes there could be a piece of history capable of unlocking unimaginable wealth. But the challenge lies in identifying such treasures, which requires careful observation under magnification, knowledge of minting errors, and sometimes even professional grading services to authenticate the coin and certify its unique features. So the next time you come across a 2015 dime with a D mint mark, take a close look, because you might notice something unusual. Perhaps the D is doubled, or faintly struck, or misplaced. Perhaps the coin shows doubling in the lettering or Roosevelt's face, or maybe it was struck slightly off-center creating an odd shape. Each of these signs could point to a rare and valuable error. And while most will just be ordinary dimes worth 10 cents, the possibility always exists that one extraordinary piece could be out there, waiting to be discovered. and its discovery could lead to a story that shocks the world just like the famous rare coins that made headlines in the past. In the world of coin collecting, history has proven again and again that mistakes at the mint become treasures in the market, and the 2015 D. Roosevelt dime with its potential errors and mint mark anomalies has carved its place in this fascinating narrative, with the tale of a coin valued at $70 million serving as a reminder that sometimes the smallest objects can hold the greatest value, and that every coin in circulation deserves a second look, because you never know when an ordinary dime might turn out to be an extraordinary fortune. Everyone to another exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare United States coins, and today we are going to talk about one of the most extraordinary modern dimes ever discussed in the numismatic community, the 2016 D. Roosevelt 1 dime. A coin that on the surface seems like just another 10-cent piece you might find in your pocket change, but in reality certain rare era varieties of this coin have shocked collectors with values soaring up to an unbelievable $80 million, making it a true legend in modern coin collecting and one of the most exciting discoveries for enthusiasts, historians, and treasure hunters alike. So let's take a journey into the story of this coin, why it is so valuable, and what possibilities make this tiny piece of metal worth far more than its simple face value, because when it comes to coins like these, the story is not just about money but about history, mistakes, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery that drives collectors to carefully check every dime they come across. The 2016 D dime was minted in Denver, part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series that began in 1946 to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed the previous year, and like other modern dimes it is composed of a copper core clad in nickel with a standard diameter of 17.9 millimeters and a weight of 2.27 grams. And billions of these dimes were struck for circulation, making them among the most common coins in daily life. So how could such a coin be worth millions? The answer lies in errors and minting mistakes, the rare occurrences when something goes wrong during the minting process and creates a unique variety that collectors treasure. In the case of the 2016 D. Roosevelt dime, certain examples are believed to have been struck with mint mark errors, double die obverse features, misaligned strikes, off-center designs, or even transitional planchet errors where the coin was struck on the wrong type of metal blank. Each of these possibilities transforms a simple dime into a once-in-a-lifetime rarity because collectors are willing to pay incredible amounts for coins that exist in only one or a handful of examples, and when rarity combines with high demand, prices can soar beyond imagination, which is why the 2016 D dime with these extraordinary era characteristics has been valued at as much as $80 million in private sales and speculative markets. Imagine holding a dime in your hand that looks ordinary to most people but to a trained eye shows a doubled mint mark, a missing letter, or a planchet that clearly does not belong to that year's composition. Suddenly you are not just holding 10 cents but a piece of American history, a mistake frozen in time that can never be duplicated, a coin that makes headlines among collectors and auction houses. And this is what has happened with certain 2016 D examples, because while the majority are only worth face value, a few carry unique attributes that make them legends of numismatics. To understand how this is possible you need to know about the minting process, where blank planchets are fed into powerful presses that stamp designs with exact pressure, and each coin receives the year and mint mark, in this case the letter D for Denver, but if something goes wrong such as a hub doubling, a die crack, or the wrong planchet being fed, the result is an error coin that bypasses quality control and enters circulation, sometimes unnoticed for years until a sharp-eyed collector discovers it and realizes its true significance. And in today's world where collectors and treasure hunters carefully study their change, even a small flaw can mean the difference between a coin worth 10 cents and a coin worth millions. The 2016 D dime has sparked countless discussions about the possibilities of errors ranging from broad strikes where the rim is missing, to misaligned dies where one side of the coin is off-center, to rare double die errors where letters and numbers appear doubled under magnification, and even missing mint marks, which are incredibly rare in modern coinage since mint marks are now machine-applied. But when such a mistake occurs it creates instant demand among collectors who know the rarity of such pieces, and when auction houses get involved the bidding wars drive values to astronomical heights, which is why the most extraordinary examples of the 2016 D dime are valued not in thousands or millions but up to $80 million, a figure that highlights the combination of rarity, demand, historical significance, and collector excitement that defines the numismatic world. What makes this story even more fascinating is the possibility that many of these coins are still in circulation today, hiding in drawers, piggy banks, and change jars, waiting to be discovered by someone who takes the time to look closely, because every dime from 2016D that you come across carries the potential of being that one rare coin with a minting error that could change your life forever. And that is the real thrill of coin collecting, the idea that a priceless treasure could be sitting in your pocket right now disguised as ordinary change. Collectors always remind beginners to carefully examine their coins, use magnifying glasses, pay attention to the mint marks, the edges, the alignment, and the overall strike, because even the smallest detail could reveal an error, and while most 2016D dimes are completely ordinary, the few that carry these legendary errors have redefined what a modern coin can be worth, proving that even coins minted in huge quantities can sometimes become rarities that surpass all expectations, and so as you can see, the 2016D Roosevelt dime is not just a coin but a symbol of how mistakes can create miracles in the world of numismatics, and with its astonishing value of up to $80 million it remains one of the most talked about and exciting discoveries in recent times, a coin that reminds us all to never overlook the smallest pieces of change because hidden among them could be treasures beyond imagination.